We're just gonna break down this price action. Oh, you're welcome, Glo. Good morning, Glo. You're welcome. I appreciate that, Daniel. Thank you, sir. All right, so looking at this, right? Understanding what happened in this zone. So we had a couple of things. Happen. So I'm gonna bring it back real quick so I can bring us up to speed to where we are. Right? We're looking at gold. Looking at the price action of gold, right? Just in this moment, we see that this level has been broken. Right? This bearish candle has broken that level. Right? So that's where this bearish move is coming. But now we've came to a low in the market. Right, so we ask ourselves, did price respect this low? Or did price break the low? Yes or no? Did price break the low? Yes or no? No, right? So what are we doing? We're buying. All right, back up to our zone. This is the first trade. All right, we'd be taking that buy right back up to the zone. Let's see if they gave it to us. Bam, perfect. TP1 smashed already. Literally. You guys see that? Right, stop loss right below the wick. I take my take profit at the top of the candle. Literally, I'm telling you. So we're watching this live now. You guys see this. I didn't know what was happening in this market, but we found where the low failed to break. What is this candle? If the low fails to break here, what is this candle? Inside bar, right? So setup 1, TP smashed. 700 pips, 712 pips, almost 1,000 pips. All right, we're just getting started. Now we're watching, we know that this was the low, right? So this candle, sorry, 1 second. All right, cool. So you got more people joining. Welcome, guys. Good morning. We're just getting after it right now. We're just testing these inside bars, seeing what we can see. So watching this, so that first setup hit. All right, still watching. Now, what did this candle just do? What did this candle just do? Right, the low has been broken. So now, what are we doing? What are we looking for? What are we looking for? Buys or sells? There we go. So we're just waiting. All right, we're waiting. There we go. That's what I was just gonna say. If anything, we know that this is the low, right? So price is gonna have to come and retest this. We could have taken a sell limit. Where does the next candle do? What do you mean, Daniel? The next candle after this one? Where does the next candle close? Oh, that was a typo. All right, so this candle closed, still confirming the low is broken. This was the retest of this zone. All right, we saw that price has now rejected this zone. So are we bullish or bearish? All right, we're bearish. Let price play out. Next candle should also sell. Exactly. So this is what's happening now in this moment. This is our low in this zone, right? In this zone. This is our low. I'm gonna make this red and make this a line. This is our new low. Let me get this noted. This is the high of our market. So now we have our zone. So we're just going to watch price play out in the zone. I believe that's where it currently is. I'm just gonna fast forward, see what's going on. All right, we see what price wants to do. We see what it's doing. Let's get that sped up because I want to get this in real time now. Bam. Now, here is where we are, right? It is still respecting this same range. Do you guys see that? Right? It's still respecting the same range. But price is also doing what? What is price doing? What is price doing? There we go. It's consolidating. But what's happening within consolidation? Right? It's accumulating orders. It is collecting orders. So we know anything coming to this level, right? In this moment, anything coming to this level in this moment is the manipulation. So this wick, because it also, let's look at price action. You have candlesticks still closing below the wicks. Right? You've got them, they're trying to break this zone. That's what they're showing you. Recent price is still trying to break bearish within this zone. It also broke the previous low. So again, anything coming to this level is a retest. Anything coming up here is a retest. Price is still bearish for gold. I'd be looking to do nothing but sell. There's a couple of things you could do. You could take the sell off of this zone if it comes back up. All right. That's possibly what's going to be happening. Whenever this candle closes, you can probably sell it too. This wick right here closing in a bearish doji, breaking this low. This is nothing but manipulation. This whole candle is nothing but manipulation. This is just them trying to gather those orders. All right, because we worry about where candles close. This candle technically broke this, it's broken this range. So this is nothing but a pullback. If I'm measuring this candle, it's probably around 50% of that candle. All right, we see price respecting this 62% range. But when you also, like if you extend your sweet spot, that's what I call it, right? Between the 50 and the 62, it really is also main support and resistance for a lot of that area as well. All right, that's the one thing that we can also see. It's also the low that was broken previously, right? So all of this is just price retesting. All of this is that fake out that we were talking about that we've been experiencing in real time. But again, because this is the high, that's where I would look to take the next entry because we know that this wick, they're going to try and want to come grab. They're going to grab all of these orders in this wick, in this whole area right here. I should probably move the box up there. Right, so that's how I would be looking at gold in this moment. Also for gold, just zooming out. Let's see what higher time frames are looking like. All right, does anybody see any type of reversal patterns in here? Any patterns that we've been talking about? Do you guys see them? Any letters in the alphabet visible to you guys? Right? We got M's everywhere. M's, M. All right. Yeah, I see the B's definitely. But for me, the A's kind of stand out more. All right, we've got an A here. All right, we've got an A here. We've got an A here. Somebody said, "Do I see a Batman?" You definitely see Batman. I was looking to see if Batman was present too. Right, just little things like that that you can see. Head and Shoulders, Uncle Jim, all of that. Everything is here. Right, every single pattern that we've talked about this past 2 weeks is right here. Is it starting to now come together and make sense? All right, you guys now starting to understand. Whoops, let me get that out of there. So now, breaking down in real time. Remember, we had this all marked out on a 1 hour time frame. We were originally looking at it. Now coming to higher time frames, I want you guys to see what happens within those same levels, right? Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. This is still the low, right? That we were talking about that was broken. It just looks different because there's only one more candle as opposed to looking at it when it was 2 candles or 3 candles when we're looking on the smaller time frames, right? What was an inside bar on lower time frames, the candle that broke the low is actually bearish engulfing candle, right? Master candle. So you guys see why now, looking at the price action, breaking it down, it literally is everything that we've been talking about. But now you understand why this engulfing candle makes sense, why it's important in this zone. Because we now know that it was a failed inside bar. It was the candle that also broke the low. All right, now in this same zone where we're looking for price to respect, what do we also get? Another engulfing candle, another candle that broke a low. You guys see what I mean? Just a little stuff, just understanding the little things will really make a big difference. So now we can see the bigger picture. Is it safe to say that order block became a continuation block? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why we see that the bears are getting ready to come into play. So, I mean, if you guys wanted to take a trade today, that's why you have the sell stop. So there's a couple ways that you can get in this market now that we've broken it down from a price action standpoint, and now that we've broken down from a candlestick pattern standpoint. You now have multiple entry points. You know you can enter market execution whenever price pulls back up this high. You also know that you can enter at a sell stop when price breaks the low. You also know you can enter right here at the 50% of this engulfing candle. It really was a candle that broke the low as well. You guys see what I'm saying? You understand what I mean now? So you really have 3 entries on one setup. So you don't have to watch it all day and sit there and wait for every setup to come. You just identify what's happening in the market and you find every entry point for everything that's going on. So if you wanted to scalp, take your scalp entry off of this here. If you wanted to set your swing trade, take your swing trade off of here. Your scalp entry will take you into your first take profit, which is the low, because that's how I teach you guys to trade this, right? So your first entry already takes you into your first TP. What was that, 700 pips or something we saw? So then when you hit take profit, you've now entered your second trade because this is your sell stop. Oh, but wait, there's more. Price could also keep pulling back. And what do? You keep entering this market. Here's another thing, right? So I like to show you guys this and flip my screen. We talked about channels a little bit, right? We've talked about channels a little bit. I'll show it this way first. All right. I want you guys to see what this really is as well. This is a channel. Right? That is the channel. You guys see that? I'll bring it down to a smaller time frame so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see this is what you call a bearish channel. A bearish channel. Yeah, it was a bearish flag too. That's the crazy part. There's a lot of stuff going on in this zone. Like a lot of stuff going on in this one zone. A bearish channel is going to be a bullish pullback. Right? A bearish channel is going to look like a bullish pullback. But all that is doing, because a channel is sideways consolidation. And what is happening within consolidation? What is price doing? Collecting orders, right? So all of this movement is price collecting orders for the continuation, right? That's price collecting orders for the continuation. That's why you see consolidation happen like this. Price just can't keep dropping, guys. It has to collect orders. So what's happening in this zone? People like us who just found out how to trade inside bars, who are mastering inside bars, saw a failed rejection of a low. So they understood that for scalping purposes, this was their time to get into the market. Now the scalpers took over in this area. The ranging, I believe, is for scalpers, right? And zone traders. They took over. So they got their money, their quick money, right? Saw a failed rejection of the high. Yes. And realized, okay, price is going to continue dumping. So that's what they did. Once they realized that, price broke the channel. Right? They got their money both ways, because this was the news candle too. This is again, this is NFP. So I'm breaking down to you. People only come and trade NFP sometimes. Scalpers, there's people who only trade NFP. The big boys only trade today. So this is where the price action is going to be happening all day, every day, on this day. They saw the channel was broken because really, I mean, if I made it perfect and I showed you, right, where that really is right there, where all of the candles are respecting pretty much, right? Where a majority of the candles are respecting that low. That's where I'd say the bottom of that channel is. This engulfing candle here broke this zone. All right, if I were to just tilt my screen just a little bit for you guys, there's a wick that's being broken with this candle closing right here. This is the confirmation, right, that price wants to continue bearish. This was also a failed inside bar. Remember, we're not doing anything with this candle because we wait for this candle to close before we understand what we want to do. Once we saw this candle close below the low of a candle that also broke a low, right? And I'm talking like that for a reason, to get you guys to understand the concept of candlesticks breaking the low range, right? The wick low range when we're talking about price action. This candle closing like this was bearish confirmation, right? The retest failed, right? Retest failed. This was the confirmation. So now this is our candle we enter on. Price already pulled back. This would have been our entry, right? This would have been our entry. But even now, just coming to see it, even if you guys were listening and you sold gold anywhere when price has been pulling back up here, you'd be in profit at least 200 pips, 20 pips, whatever you want to say. Even when price was just up here at the 62, you already be in profit on this trade. But now we've got, what was that, like 4, 5, and 6 entry points now? Because we've already got this first entry. We're already waiting for our sell stop. And now we just see that the channel was broken. So I'm entering all on this retest. All right, so in 5 minutes, whenever this candle closes, anything that pulls back up here, if it closes below here, you enter. You sell this market and do nothing but sell this market. Let's see what else. I was looking at an indice today too. I was looking at US 30. There it is. I was looking at this setup here. US 30 also moves in patterns. What do we have here? V's. All right. Let me turn my screen upside down. What does this look like? What pattern does this look like to you guys? Anything that we learned? Anything that you've heard me say over this course of the boot camp? Who does this look like? There really is no wrong answer either, if you really think about it. There we go. Uncle Jim, Man Ray, Batman. All of those are present. I want you guys to understand that. All of those are present in this market. Right? We've got Head and Shoulders, right? A little short, a small short one. We do have Batman. This could be Uncle Jim too, right? That double top. That's also Uncle Jim. We have an A in the market, right? Price came back to retest. If you break down price action in here, there's a lot of stuff happening. There was a lot of stuff happening. I'll flip it back again. All right, so now looking at it this way, we've got V's. All right, we've got a W. We've got another V. All right, so all of that stuff is present in the market, even on an index. I just wanted you guys to see that. So now, coming to where we are in this market, price action is showing me that we've broken this level. All right, close below that level. So this is the low here. Yep, and it's breaking this range. Yeah, I'd be bearish on the indices too. All right, just looking at it. Price is closing below wick lows. That's literally all I'm looking for, guys, is where is price closing in relation to the low of the market. And you can start to understand where price, right, why candles act the way that they do around certain levels. You can see the fight for power. When you start to understand and break down the concept of, right, the bulls and bears closing above or below the highs and lows, you can see visually, right, that fight. You can visually see what's happening. And it makes a lot more sense. I'd be selling this. I'd be looking to sell this market too. We got 10 seconds. Oh, there's news coming out too in a minute. Let me make sure. Oh, it's Canadian news. Never mind. Oh, no. Okay. All right, price is probably gonna try and come back to retest. It's gonna try and get more orders. And then the bears are gonna come. All right, I'm telling you guys, we see price rejecting this level. Let's see. We're just gonna watch it. So we're anticipating price to come, possibly retest back up here. I doubt price ever comes back up this high just based on the way price action is showing. I don't think we'll see that pullback come back up here. But if we did, this is the best entry that I'd be looking for. But the bears are showing themselves. But that's pretty much how I would just be breaking down the chart, just like that. And you just wait. So now this allows you to walk away. You get up, go do something, go make some breakfast, go do whatever you need to do. You have a whole zone to look for. You have multiple setups played out, right? You've got the sell stop, you've got a sell limit, and you know what you're doing. There's no more guessing. You understand what price action is doing. You know, like during consolidation, you don't have to look at consolidation anymore. Understanding candlestick patterns, understanding the way to trade, like you will just walk away from your screen when you see this until it gets to a certain point. You can start setting alerts. All right. You can have an alert if price came back up here. You have alerts. We already know about alerts for our sell stop. All right, so it's nothing different. But that was really it. That's all I wanted to show you guys. Wasn't anything crazy. So because this candle did close back above this zone, we could see a retest here. All right, we could see a retest here, and we could see the retest here. But we know that for price to go back bullish, it would have to close above those, right? It would have to close above these levels. So you always want to make sure when you're trading price action that you are waiting for that next candle to close. Oh, look, we are probably about to get that retest. If price does come back here, I will tell you guys to sell gold. And I'd be comfortable with you guys selling gold on a day like today. That might be as high as it comes, though. I don't think we'll get anything crazier than that. And again, you can see literally, now that we understand price action, right? Looking at price sideways, going across this line, you see, right, that price is being respected. You can literally see it. So it's cool. Have you seen our setup from GA? Oh. Let's see. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Yikes. Is anybody? I totally forgot about this. I totally forgot about this. Whoa. GA is up 8. Is that right? 719 pips? Wow. What were we looking at? Let me see. Oh, yeah. I do remember this. Okay, so look, now that we know more about price action, right? Now that we know more about price action, understanding that this wick was the low of a market, right? This wick right here was a low. Did this candle close below this market? So what is this candle here? Inside bar, right? It's a monthly time frame. This is a monthly time frame, so that would definitely take a long time, a different, a longer time to play out. But that wasn't even the way that we entered this market. I believe we entered it, it was like a head and shoulders pattern. I'm just showing you guys everything that we just talked about in this last 2 weeks is everything that we've already been doing. You probably just didn't know or realize, hey, these things are all present when we're entering the market. They have to be present in those moments. We know now why price reverses at these levels. You have to have an inside bar. Like that is the candlestick pattern for the reversal. That's how it works. It's how it happens. What is all of this right here? It's all inside bars, right? Right? We were using price action. We've been trading price action, and I never really broke it down. So now we broke it down. We understand what's going on. Looking, yeah, this was, man. I wish I would have held on to this one. That would have been lovely. So we see price is at a high. And you literally just wait to see if price is going to break. There's also another pattern here. All right, this is technically the start of a head and shoulders. Let's see. So price possibly, if it breaks above this level, we would see the continuation to this zone. If it fails to break this high, we know it's coming back to this low, these zones. Or we know now, we know where price action is going to take us. So that's just something to watch there. Gold's rejecting. US 30s rejecting, right? This is the other low that it needed to get above, failed rejection. So now we just know, right? We understand how to watch price. We know now when not to enter, right? We should know when not to enter. We should know when to enter. We should now know what patterns to look for, right? All of this stuff should start making a little bit more sense and start clicking for us. And if it's not, ask questions. That's what we're here for. That's what we are here for. But yeah, that was really all that I wanted to do today. I don't think gold is going to give us that re-entry, but you guys clearly see that it works. You see the rejection. We've broken down this whole zone. We know everywhere where it wants to go, like literally everywhere. So how do you know when a low is the low you're looking for? That's all dependent on you. But now you know how to identify the low. That's all you have to do. In this case, this is clearly not a low, right? You just have to look for price action, like Glow's saying, in market structure. This is complete structure of the price action, right? This is complete structure of the price action. So you now have a whole zone. Wait for price to break either this high or this low, if that is the zone you wanted to use, right? This is a zone right? That originally was broken. All right, so it's just depending on how you want to look at it. But you now know I've given you multiple tools to identify what the correct high and low is. You can start on a higher time frame. That's what I would recommend. Start on the daily. Hell, start on a weekly time frame. Move down to the daily. Move down to the 4 hour. This is personally, honestly, again, why I don't just trade 1 for a daily and a weekly time frame. This is why I trade every single time frame that shows me a pattern. Because price action happens on every time frame. That's why when yesterday I was saying I don't want to watch something every minute, right? For 60 minutes, I'd much rather watch something every hour for 24 hours because it's a lot less time that you have to be on the charts, or every week for 4 weeks. You see the breakdown, right? Those are just a couple of times that you have to look at something depending on the time frame that you're looking at. The larger the time frame, the bigger the pattern, the clearer the picture. The smaller the time frame, the more patterns and the more pictures, if that makes sense. There's multiple pictures on a smaller time frame. It's so that way it's just a little confusing for me that way. I don't like trading on small time frames anymore. I want to see like the whole table of contents, right? I don't want to know about the sub story inside of chapter 1 on page 30. Like, that's just too much detail that tells me nothing about the whole picture, if that makes sense. But if I can look at the table of contents and know from chapter 1 to 12, this is what I'm looking for, then I know what to look for at any point in time between chapter 1 and 12. That's kind of how I like to think about trading. I don't want to know about the notes on this page because that's only telling me the notes on that page. I want to know the director's notes about the whole movie. I want to know the author's notes about everything. So that way, then when I get to that part, I already know. I hope that made sense. I've been watching a lot of movies lately and listening to book podcasts and stuff. So that was like the best way I could break it down. Was thinking about it that way. Yeah, the cliff notes. I guess I do want the cliff notes. No, I don't want the cliff notes. I want the spark notes. Give me the whole outline of the book. I don't want them chapter notes. But yeah, that is it. Gold is showing that rejection. We're watching it happen live in real time. We'll come back to this at some point. I definitely see price breaking all of these lows and ending up somewhere in the dirt. I just don't know where yet. Maybe I do. Yeah, because this is already, wait a minute. Oh, this was an old setup that we had that went this way, but this level is still valid. Yeah, gold's about to sell. If you wanted to, you could sell gold. I wouldn't, just because of the time. It's not a bad time to scalp it, but to hold it, yeah, it'd be a bad time. But gold is gonna sell. That's definitely gonna happen. So maybe next week we'll come back and we'll start smacking gold again. But complete breakdown of gold on NFP. There you go. And she's off. And US 30 is probably gonna do the same thing. Yeah, GA is gonna break that level. But yeah, other than that, that was really it, guys. That's all I wanted to show you guys today. Think of it as like it wasn't really like a full boot camp. It was just a quick pop-up, honestly. It's Friday, so we don't typically have sessions on Friday. Geez Louise, Batman, I should have sold gold. But it's all good. We're just watching it. We just wanted to see what would happen. But again, if you would have sold anywhere up here, because this is where our entry was. This is where I originally had that box. You'd be in profit. And if you sold when this candle was green, still, either way, do you guys understand now how we would break down price action and how we would look at a chart in that way? Does that make a little bit more sense? That wick is gonna get touched. Cool. Well, good. I'm glad. But yeah, guys, that was really it. I'm not gonna hold you guys too much. It's Friday. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Yeah, Daniel, I hope this answered your question. I'm glad you had that question. That was a really good question, actually. So, yeah, guys, no worries. Yeah, next week we'll get back to the trading. We got some stuff. I know me and the educators are working on some stuff as far as the schedule goes to bring some new and exciting things to you guys. Keep using that suggestions box. We got you guys. I'm implementing a lot of the things that you guys have asked for in there. So keep dropping ideas or anything that you guys want to see, anything that you think would help. We are trying to figure out ways to implement those in every way that we can. So when should we have our accounts funded? We'll talk about that next week. It's a weekend, so I'd say in the next 2 weeks. What is this? January 7th? Yeah, in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, that's it, guys. Message me if you need me. Get at me in the chats. I will talk to you guys later. I'm working on a lot of things this weekend for you guys. Yeah, you guys are very welcome. You're very welcome. Alrighty, guys, drink some water. About to go drink some water myself. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hydrated. I'll holler at you guys later.